Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 144 of the Wonderfully Hopeless podcast, where I talk about all of my crafting adventures. So, let's start with what have I been up to? It's been a very busy last 2 weeks, so my last video was right before I went back to work, and so I had 2 days of in-service, and then I've had students for the last week and a half. And that makes for a very busy couple weeks. So crafting has obviously slowed way down, but I have been doing some. And it should get better as the first couple weeks are just insanely busy. We have open house on Monday, and then once everything starts getting into a routine, things will get easier. So hopefully, probably 1st of September, things should start getting back into a routine. So I've had that going on, and my grandmother was in the hospital this week, so that made life a little more interesting. And I had my friend from Canada stop by on Thursday night. It was so awesome to see her and her husband, because typically we only get to see each other once a year, so this was a twice a year, so it was pretty awesome. So yeah. So what have I been up to? Well, cross-stitching. The last time I did a video, I was working on, and I just lost my needle. Oh, I hate when that happens. There it is. I was working on my August Peridot Fairy. Well, it has been put away for now just because the amount of brain power it takes to work on this one. This one takes a little more thought. It shouldn't, but it does. So I put it away for now. Might pull it back out later, but the fabric requires concentration. And so I just wasn't feeling up to it. So I put that one away for now. And I moved into stitching on my pandas, which I'm trying to remember which book the pandas were in. So, as I mentioned in my Stitch With Me on Wednesday, I have both of the Endangered Youngins books. And I want to stitch pretty much everything in them, because they're freaking cute as all hell. I'm trying to find the pandas. Okay, they're not in that one. They have to be in this one. Oh, yeah, there they are. So I'm working on my little pandas. And I'm still on the grass. I had to stop Wednesday night because I had made an error somewhere, and I just figured it out this morning, so I'm back on track. So my goal is to film a Stitch With Me, hopefully, today, so that I can put it up on Wednesday. So that's all the active stitching I did. I did have some acquisitions. So when I went home right before, so like 2 weeks ago, so right after I'd filmed my video, I went home and I ended up finding antique white 14 count Aida for $1.99. So that was, of course, a score, because I can use that for all sorts of things. And then last weekend I found this little cutie, and I love my frogs and my reptiles, so I had to pick it up. So I like my little froggies, so I picked that up. And I was seriously tempted to start it, but I have resisted that urge thus far because I am trying to work through my whips, hence the pandas came out. And the only reason I picked the pandas over some of the others is because it's a little early for Halloween, or when I pulled something out. And I'm thinking Halloween, but I didn't have anything that I could put on my stand immediately. So I was like, I'm just going to do this until I have the motivation to put up one of my Halloween pieces to start on. Because I have one fall and I think 3 Halloween pieces going. So I have plenty of Halloween. I just need to put the Velcro on it and put it on my stand. So there's that. So that's all the cross stitching. Now knitting, I finished a pair of socks. So I have 2 socks with the, and this was out of the, I can't remember, it's the wool free, super soft. These are a little bit of a thicker fingering weight, so it makes for a little bit of a thicker sock. But they're super comfy. So I have these ready. I need to actually, take them off the blockers at some point. And then I started a new pair of socks for my sister-in-law. So I'm currently on the heel vac. I had to pull it out last night. So yeah, I haven't gotten much done because she likes super shorty socks. So I've got 3 bands of the color, and then I've just started on the heel on one set. So I'm hoping to work on that some today. And then I finished a ball of my yarn for my virus shawl, and this thing has gotten, alright, let's take the hook out, it'll be easier. It is huge and it is beautiful. I love this. So I have not been working on it in the last couple weeks. I've put almost all of my knitting away in the last week that's for me, and I'm primarily starting to work on presents. But that's where I left off on that one. And it's I've only got 2 projects out for me right now. And it's that one, and my blanket shawl, just because ideally I would like to get this one finished, and I have not made a ton of progress since the last video. I think I've put in like 2 rows. So it hasn't been seeing much work either, but I haven't had a lot of crafting time. Like I said, the first 2 weeks of school, first month is pretty busy. So there's that. And honestly, I've switched into gift mode. So I got a new bag. I love this bag. So it's Halloween and science all mixed into one. So I'm in love. So I got that. And I started the Raina shawl. And I am doing it out of Lion Brand Shawl in a Ball. And this is one of my birthday presents from my mom. And the shawl was from my mom. So she, when I was home visiting, she basically bought my yarn, and I found that in the Walmart site clearance, and I was going to buy it because I immediately went, those colors are gorgeous because they're very neutrals, and my mom will love that as in that shawl. So that's for my mom. And then, yeah, she bought me a lot of yarn. So I can't say any of it's expensive yarn, but that's okay because I like it anyway. So I got 2 of the Shawl and the Balls. I really like this stuff. The cotton blend makes it great to work with. The color changes in these are gorgeous. What's not to love? So just like my Shawl and a Ball, the changes are much more subtle instead of like a more harsh one. So anyway, 2 of those. And then 2 of the scrubbies. Now I like to make like scrubbies for the dishes out of these, and I haven't tried, or I have tried the Red Heart, and it's not easy to work with, but it's not too bad. And I literally just want to make scrubbies for the kitchen out of it. So at $1 each, that'll be awesome. And then she got me some mandalas. So I got 2 of the Lion Brand mandalas in Serpent. Trying to make sure what color it is. Yeah, Serpent. And I really liked that it was neutrals except for the yellowy green chartreusey color. So I really like that. Do I know what I'm going to do with it yet? No, but I have a billion shawl patterns that I can use that for. And then 2 of the mandala baby, and this is in Echo Caves. And again, it's just a beautiful neutral. And this may or may not end up being a Christmas gift for somebody. I haven't decided yet. And then I could not resist these. So these are the Sparkle mandalas in Aquarius. And again, may end up being a Christmas present. And then I went out the other night. Again, starting to, if you can't figure out, I'm kind of gearing up towards Christmas, and I just can't stitch fast enough to get Christmas presents for as many people as I have. So I still have some more yarn that I need to get for Christmas presents, but I've got a good start. And then I found these pink sparkly yarns, and this is called Draco. And I have a lot of nieces that will like these colors. So, and they'll like the sparkles. So, yeah, that's my yarn right now. I've actually not gone to my local yarn store. Wait, did I? I'm trying to remember. Did I buy anything recently? I did. Totally did. Yeah, I did. Whew. Now, can I remember what I did with it? I remember what I did. It's can I find it? So there's that, and then all right. So I want to do the Harlequin shawl, and I know I showed you guys the kit that I wanted to do it out of, and I really wasn't loving the purpley black color that I had bought in Chicago to go with it, so I went into my LNS or LYS and was looking at yarn to go with it, and she found this one, which matches spectacularly and is Double Your Pleasure by Leading Men Fibers. And then while I was at it, I got a mini skein of the new August colorway from Leading Men, which is Pretty Petals. Now this is going to go in my granny square blanket, but this is going with Arlequin. So I was really ecstatic. So when I get around to doing knitting for me again, and like I need to whittle down my projects, but so I found that and I got that. And then I also got, and where are they? I got another set of the Addi Flexi Flips in US size 0. I still need one, but the US size 0 is great for heels and toes because that's where you, it's close enough. Anyway, it's close enough. So I got that. And that's what I have been up to. Like I said, mostly I've been working on school stuff. I really haven't been crafting nearly as much shopping, but I even have slowed down on the shopping. I'm kind of ramping up on the Christmas yarn. And I'm thinking instead of hats, because the girls, or most of the kids have hats for me at this point, I'm thinking some really cute fingerless mitts or mittens for some of the kids. So, matter of fact, I'm thinking I might, out of this Echo, do like a dragon scale mitt for one of my nieces' mittens. So, we're trying to introduce her to crafting right now. She does nothing but read or watch TV. And we're trying to get her to understand that if she learns a hobby, whether cross stitch or knitting or crochet or something, because she's very artistic, but she's not doing her art right now. She does a little bit of drawing, but not even much of that. So we're trying to get her inspired, and I was telling her, I can do things like that and make lots of interesting things, and so yeah, trying to get her on that path. So yeah, and I'm hoping to get in more crafting in the next 2 weeks because I got Labor Day coming up. So hopefully I'll get some crafting time there. So yeah, and hopefully get these Christmas presents knocked out. Because fingerless mitts don't take too long. Socks don't take too long. My mom's shawl will take a little bit longer. But yeah, so that's my plan. So I hope everybody else is having a great and productive, stitchy, crafty season. And I will talk to you all later. Bye now.